Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good night. Just depends what time you're watching us. I'm with my hoodie, yes, because it is a bit cold outside and it's freezing here in the studio. But what matters the most is what the market will do over this week. Well, that's exactly what I want to bring with me today. We do have some very, I would say, volatile week ahead because the majority of the central banks, and that includes Bank of Japan, the Fed as well, and the BOC, so the Bank of Canada, will have the interest rates decisions over the week. So I just want to run through a little bit about the Bank of Japan, the Bank of Canada, and the Fed, so you guys know how to navigate during the week, during this week. So before we go any further, I just have a few things to talk. The first one is don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up because that helps a lot, especially the like button, because that shows to YouTube that people are actually watching and liking the content, and that makes better to us, so we can the YouTube can give that content to other people as well, and we can have more reputation. The second one is don't forget to join the Telegram. Okay, the Telegram, the link is on the the description, and you can click there. It's free, and we're nearly there for one person. Let me see if we haven't reached. But this morning when I looked, it was only one person needed. Yes, we still need one person to 300 subscribers. So if you're not yet into the Telegram, join now, and it's for free. We don't charge you exactly anything. Okay, so that's really great. Now, moving on, don't forget as well that every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we do have a webinar, and I will be hosting those webinars as normal per this week. So every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 4 to 5 p.m. Okay. Cool. Let's go and have a look at what this week ahead of us will take. Lots of volatility. I can tell you that already, because Bank of Japan and Bank of Canada, there is a little bit of uncertainty, and also especially after the trade deal on last Friday with Japan. Japan has been pretty weak. US dollar has been pretty strong. Okay, so if we look to US dollar Japanese yen at the moment is trading at around 147.80. Most likely with that trade deal, that will make the US dollar a bit stronger, and that could drive to 149 pretty soon. Okay. I still believe firmly that once that sort of the whole trade war goes away, we most likely will be having Japanese yen as a very attractive scenario for the market. And I say that because the rates are in Europe, in Canada, in USA, in pretty much Australia, New Zealand, all over the world is declining. Okay, it's going down day by day. As well with that, the investors and the foreign direct investors are taking out the money and putting into something that is paying higher yield. Japan at the moment has a 0.5. I know it's not a lot, but when you think about, there is a perspective of Japan continue to hike interest rates because inflation may have been going higher in the next couple months. As of the Fed, the ECB, the BOC, the BOE are all of lowering the target rate down and down from 5 to 4, from 4 to 3, 3 to 1, maybe staying at half, and Japan is going up. Then what will happen is those people will take the money out from here that are not paying anymore, the 6-7% that was paying a few years ago, and put into Japan, because there is a higher probability of Japan hiking the rates than USA again, or Europe again. Okay, so that's exactly the whole point, and that's what I believe the most that could happen with Japanese yen. Yes, not now, not in the next few months, but when we look to a big span of time, most likely that's what we're going to get for Japan. Now, for the Bank of Japan, the expectations for this week are that no changes. Okay, so in my opinion, yes, we will most likely be at 0.5%, but what's most important for Japan is the press conference. The BOG interest rates decision will be held at 1 p.m. in Australia. in Sydney time, and then after that 4:30 p.m. we have the Bank of Japan press conference. Okay, and from there, that's exactly what we want to hear about what the central bank will do onwards. Okay, now going to going to Canada, we have the Bank of Canada interest rates decision, and that's going to be held on Wednesday. The BOG will be held on Thursday, okay, the 31st of July. The BOC will be held on Wednesday in Australia, is it? Yes, it's on Wednesday in Australia at 11:45 p.m. and the decision is expected to be maintained the same, okay, so no changes from previously to now. So 2.75% is the expectations. I think Canada has a lot to do with oil prices and energy prices in a sense, okay, so if energy prices have been going up, then most likely we have inflation. As of when we look to oil prices at the moment, specifically the WTI is trading at $65. It's been going down pretty quick. Most likely the Bank of Canada will be maintaining its instance of data dependent and somewhat of a dovishness. So I don't expect much about BOC and a continuation of weaker Canadian dollar. As I say, weaker WTI prices, weaker energy prices will be maintaining as a very bearish Canadian dollar. Now, moving on to the big boy, to the one that everyone wants to know, and that is the Fed. Okay, so the Fed is expected to hold the interest rates unchanged as well. Most likely, you know, like, there's a 97% chance or 98% chance of no changes into the interest rate. So we'll be maintaining at 425 to 450 range. My opinion about the Fed is it doesn't matter what they will actually do. It doesn't matter what they will actually do in a sense, but it matters what Jerome Powell will say later on. I don't know if you guys have seen the video about, there was kind of viral this last week from Thursday to Friday. We had Trump and Jerome Powell talking to each other, and then Trump was like, will you spend more than what was agreed on? And then Jerome Powell was like, no, we did not. I'm not aware of this. And then Trump pulls out a paper, shows Jerome Powell, and then Jerome Powell was like, mate, you counting builds already built here. You're not counting the new build only. And he's like, but it's a building. And then Jerome Powell, it's already built. So it's a bit of a interesting, I would say, NPC reactions. But that's completely alright as well, because we know those two don't get along. Okay. Anyways. So I think it's more about what Jerome Powell will say and will state into the press conference than anything that the rates will be done. Because now the interest rate, the dot plot is predicted to have 2 to 3 more cuts. And that's quite a lot because we only have 3 more meetings until end of the year. Guys, next week is already the month of June, July, August. All right, it's already August next week. So it's going like that. Half of the year already gone, like 60% of the year already gone. So we need some sort of data-dependent approach, most likely, for the Fed going ahead. And if the inflation keeps going down and the unemployment rate keeps at the same sort of 4.2%, most likely we will have cuts into the next meetings, okay? That will drag the US dollar up, into my opinion, but for very, very short term, because as I say, interest rates going down, it's clearly the Fed lowering rates. The US dollar will be very bearish in the next coming months as well. So I'm still believing euro dollar 120 by end of the year, okay? Cool, so that's pretty much it. I hope you guys could learn a little bit about what's going to happen during the week. If you have any questions, please bring those questions tomorrow into the webinar from 4 to 5 p.m. Australia time, and I will be definitely eager to help you out and have some more of an understanding on how you guys are thinking about the market as well. Thank you so much all. Have a great week ahead. I see you tomorrow into the webinar, or I see you into the next video. And don't forget to join the Telegram. It's in the description. It's free. See you guys. Bye-bye.